I loathe watching these things.
Yeah. His voice just kills people.
It's the comedy. It's everything. Anyway, let us begin. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Smudcast number 682. Film Theory. Don't Attack the Titans. Attack on Titan. This is a video that came out 6 years ago. Has 18 million views. All kinds of upvotes. So it's popular. It's big. And it's about an anime that all of us collectively are like, ugh. We don't hate it. We're just like, oh, geez, come on. This thing, it's been going on so long. They're milking it for what it's worth. We're in season 4, and I think the manga.
I'm not sure you can call it season 4. Well, I think it's false advertisement.
Whatever number and system they're using to categorize this thing, the manga's been done, as far as I remember. So I stopped reading it after a certain point. I stopped watching after season 1. I was like, this is enough for me. The rest has all been really good trailers, really good music, and I guess really good animation in the first season. But other than that, doesn't appeal. Not my bag. And I found the story a little wanting in the dramatic parts outside of the main characters caring for each other. And the main character trying to figure out the puzzle of what the Titans are and why the world is the way it is. And like, too much.
It's a typical product of somebody had a cool idea and then didn't think it through to the end before starting, and then started writing chaotically at random. And yeah,
what is storytelling but mystery boxes?
Yeah, it reminds me of, I don't know if you guys ever heard of the anime Ergo Proxy, where
yes,
yeah,
okay, great. Where there's all these little domes, like fallout shelters, throughout the vast post-apocalyptic world, and they all tell a unique, weird story of what they are and what they did and and you're just going from dome to dome, wondering what the hell's going on. That's what this is. Only there's one dome, and it's, I guess, the dregs of humanity. Everything's left, and it's watching a bunch of Spider-Men flip around through these weird 16th century homes with what are those called? The roofs with the roofs with the Italian roof. I don't know what you call the clay roofs. I don't know, ceramic roofs. Yeah, ceramic roofs. They make smashed up beautifully as Titans smash them or they jump into them. They have these X-Acto blade knives, which are the dumbest design I've ever seen for a weapon. You do not make a strong piece of metal that cuts things by having it in chunks.
It's like the giant carpet knife in Neon Genesis Evangelion that Asuka's mech has.
Well, that makes...
Let's build a giant blade that can break off.
Well, yeah, the breaking off part makes no sense. If it was like a replaceable blade, I'm like, okay, I guess that's a thing. But it never really explained, why are they using it? Like, why don't they just make a normal sword or a halberd or anything?
Because it needs to look cool and memorable.
I like the idea of Spider-Manning all over the place with like jets on your ass. I thought that was like, okay, that's crazy.
I don't understand how they can keep the height in these little villages.
The height makes no sense. Yeah, exactly.
But what's hilarious is the fact that okay, I know I'm going to sound like absolute nerd here, but in the manga, it's considered a big success that they managed to use, what are they fucking teddy bears from Star Wars called?
Ewoks.
They managed to use Ewok tactics by using a log to smack a Titan's head in. Like, they have a whole operation using human bait to have a Titan's head get smashed in by a log, and that's considered great progress in terms of technology when you got rockets boosting your ass alongside buildings.
Well, the one episode that caused me to stop watching was when I saw a Titan, or the main character who turns into a Titan. Ooh, spoiler, whoop-de-doo. And he picks up a boulder to carry to a entrance to a wall with a door that's broken so he can block the door. There are so many ways to solve this problem, but he carried a spherical boulder on his back.
He didn't want it to roll off in the wrong direction.
It's like, we really got to do this
Accidentally.
problem. We got to solve this problem. What do we do? Pick up a massively huge boulder without trying the most basic thing like pulling or pushing. No. We got to get a lever.
Well, the Sisyphus thing was like copyrights.
Yeah.
Sorry, Japan. Too European.
Make
for
an
you.
inclined plane. Do something with physics. No. I'm just
Roll
gonna,
it along.
like, get a pulley system. No, just fucking gonna frickin' just pick it up.
Attach your Spider-Man gear to it to pull it into
There.
the hole.
Use something. Use physics.
MacGyver it.
Water.
What?
Air pressure. Anything.
What I find hilarious is that not only is it perfectly large enough to fit inside the hole, no Titan ever considers just pressing against it with enough mass to launch it out again.
Yeah, because there's like 20,000 of them. They just think, oh, thing. What is thing? Oh, God.
It's like Mr. X outside the safe room. He's just like, okay, I guess I'll leave again.
Yeah,
Come out when you're ready.
And these Titans are really powerful. They jump really high. I mean, if you just get like a few of them to make a pyramid, they could just climb over the wall. It's not a big deal. Or squeeze through the hole in the door because the boulder doesn't cover everything. But, just little, okay, they're super dumb and they work on instinct. I'm like, oh, whatever. This is silly. I'm done. So, but fun to watch. Lots of cool animation for some
Only
of the
the
characters.
first season.
Yeah. So, and I like
The other seasons are so boring and bland and go nowhere. And it takes them, 12, 20, I don't know how many episodes to do one little thing, reveal one little thing that any good show would do in one or at worst 3 episodes.
I did like the dynamic between the 3 main characters. There's the guy who has this endurance, this drive that no one else has. So he's usually the leader or leading the story. There's the girl who has this great, she's very defensive of that guy. So she technically loves him, but not in the romantic way, although technically that becomes romantic. And then the third one is the guy who's just smart. He figures stuff out. I thought that was, okay, you got these characters, they have their traits, they solve the problems in the way they come in, and they stick together. And hey, that's good. You design a character for a problem. They solve the problem. You get the next problem. Oh, they can't solve it. They got to get someone else. Like, that's fine. It works. It's functional. It makes sense. It's not complicated. It's not magic. It's not some super genius guy or super strong guy. Just get the right character for the job. And they figured that out. So I liked the way the story was progressing. And then stupid shit happens. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Then Father Christmas shows up.
You have no idea how bad it gets.
Yeah.
I tapped out when I saw, this was 7 years ago now, geez. Back when I saw that, the big new thing was lightning spears that can break through Titan. Fuck off. that you have kitchen knives, as Wisp said, kitchen knives cutting through Titans already. And apparently...
Kitchen knives would be better. These are carpet knives.
Carpet knives cutting through Titans, and apparently medieval knights and stuff with cannons was already too effective against Titans, which is why we are moving over to Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, they have cannons on the walls. They're just technically the walls are just too high to hit anything with them.
Right, maybe they should consider mortars.
Or like a way to calibrate those cannons. I don't know.
They also have no matriculations for Titans that are at the walls already.
All right. Well, let's get on with the video. It's 18 minutes? How long is this thing? 15?
Something like that,
16 minutes. All right. Let's get going.
I meant what I said. The whole idea is just irresponsible.
So what? It's more grown up to settle for living in fear behind some stupid wall your whole pointless life?
Yes. Actually, yes it is. It is indeed more grown up to settle for living in fear behind some stupid walls for your whole pointless life. In fact, it's such a good idea, I'm about to prove it to you.
Oh. I want to die.
I appreciate that he's gonna make an argument for building that wall.
Yes, walls are effective.
Wait, this happened before the Trump presidency.
Hello,
doesn't
Internet!
it?
Welcome to Film Theory, an essential part of a balanced Titan breakfast.
I want one Trump reference. I just want one.
Yes, do it.
That'd be perfect for this video.
Man, that's got to be on the list of top 10 worst ways to go. But it's horrific eaten alive deaths like that got me to include Attack on Titan as a part of my October Weenie Theory lineup. Weenie theories about Halloweeny things. Scary stuff. And don't have a crouton, all you salad finger fans. Part 2 is happening, it just needed a little bit more time to get dressed. Salad fingers, get dressed. YouTube
Yes, you're
comedy
clever.
Gold right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Attack on Titan, it's all about a society that builds a huge wall around itself to keep out the unwanted.
I will build.
Yes.
Thank you! Yes!
Yes.
Thank you!
Huh, looks like Trump's got some competition. Maybe this whole show depicts America's future. Hashtag theory for another day. Anyway, instead of building walls to keep out illegal immigrants, Titan's walls are meant to keep out man-eating giants. You see, about 100 years ago, under mysterious circumstances, giants called Titans suddenly appeared and started eating every single puny human in their sight, like me devouring a handful of crispy M&Ms. So crunchy. The remnants of humanity fled.
Right, you're not questioning that these massive walls of that size, almost continent size, or let's say Iberian Peninsula size, were built in 100 years. Right.
Retreating into protected by 3 huge walls. The outermost wall was named Wall Maria, the second Wall Rosa, and the innermost wall, Wall Sina. The poor live between Maria and Rosa, while the rich live in the innermost wall, Wall Sina. Much like these walls, and onions, and ogres, the series itself has many layers. Where do the Titans actually come from? Why do they eat humans? And why do they always look like they're taking the worst yearbook photo ever? Now, I already know that a lot of these mysteries have been answered
Because the artist took advantage of how he can't draw normal people. That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's really not good at art. Let's just end it at there.
It's why Aaron and all his friends look like ghouls most of the time. Guy can't draw.
Oh,
Well,
that's
he
why?
can't. He can
I
draw, but he's not very good at it.
I thought it was this over exaggeration of everybody has PTSD and is in shock all the time, and
Yeah.
at least that's how it looks in the anime.
The Titans need to be scary.
insane.
So give them bizarrely distorted faces because they're weird giant creatures.
That and he supposedly based the Titan off of an encounter he had with a drunk guy at a bar.
Sure.
One.
Why not?
in the manga. The anime, none of yet to be revealed, and by the creator's own admission, much of the upcoming season 2 will be a complete departure from the source material.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it wasn't.
Nah.
Oh, so it's only covering the first season. Oh no.
That was a fucking lie. Yeah, I'm happy that he immediately has to go. Oh yeah, for my theory to work, I'm just going to disregard any source material here. That's already proven me wrong.
Yeah, that would be a very bad step for a mangaka to take his manga and go, I'm not going to do that for the anime. We're going to do something else. It's like, why would you make more work? Why would you change things that would piss people off? So there's steps to making anime from manga and from the novels or whatever books became before. And if you do not follow that script, you're going to piss people off. There's no question about that.
We'll be focusing exclusively on the anime to answer the single greatest Attack on Titan mystery of them all. With man-eating giants roaming the outside world, what's the best way to survive?
How can you do that when you already have the manga? How can you come up with diverting theories when you already know from the manga what's what?
And you've likely already been spoiled about what's going on in the manga.
Yeah, MatPat, how'd you make a video? Why did you make a video? What's the point of this video if you already know what's gonna happen?
He ran out of ideas a long time ago.
Oh,
There's only so much sensible content to cover.
Yeah, it sounds like he's trying to milk the popularity of a certain anime that he doesn't really know or care about just because he can.
Man, what YouTuber has ever done that?
Oh, yeah.
Go outside the walls facing certain death and try to reclaim Earth for humanity? Or do you just hunker down inside the walls, safe but trapped like animals, like the show says?
Home was a pen. Humanity, cattle.
Honestly, it's a dilemma that's on every character's mind in the series. As early as the first episode, we see the show's hero Pirito, sorry, I mean Aaron, American voice actors get me all confused, fight with his mother over which option
That's
is the
a
right
dub
choice.
problem.
So this is a guy who watches the dub.
Yeah.
That's also not a
First
problem.
scene.
That's not a dub problem. That's a him problem. Oh, this guy voices this guy. That means that I can't differentiate them.
Learn the language, I don't know.
You need better voice actors.
No, why is that your first declaration? Is that this guy immediately goes, yes, Eren and Kirito from two wildly different animes and two wildly different settings.
Two characters have so little to do with each other, other than the age.
Yeah, and even the voice actor for Japan, the Japanese version is Kaji Yuki, and he plays Koichi Hirose, Phoenix Wright, Shoto.
Smart. I guess they should have just gotten better voice actors. How can I tell the difference between the two?
If it's a good voice actor, he also acts the characters differently.
Yeah.
Like Hayashibara Mikumi did all the time.
And he does. You can. These guys sound like he acts nothing like Kirito. Kirito's always this self-reserved faggot.
So MatPat is just digging for a joke that doesn't work if you have seen both animes. Okay.
All right. Here is Zeke Kyle. Hey, Zeke, how's it going? AOT was coming out when I was in high school, and I always avoided it as a teen because women liked it. What? And my gut told me
Good
that
point.
spelled disaster. Yeah, that's a good way of thinking of that. Nice to see I was right. It was a flesh mecha show that got too far up its own ass in bullshit philosophy. I don't think it was that philosophical. I don't think it made you think.
No, it wasn't. It can't be philosophical because it's just not even evolving, just adding onto the story, onto the setting at random. Like Prison Island becomes, it's a voluntary prison. The rest of the world actually exists. We are the Titan people, and our diaspora outside that we don't know of, their prisoners are, or their convicts are sent onto our island, turned into the things because our people can do that. And so we basically, that's how it's depicted. The people on the island, the Jews, and their ancestors were evil, and now they're just staying on the island, but still the entire world fears them. So main character eventually gets the idea, hey, maybe it would be a good idea if my people disappeared forever, and then has genocide plots. Or at least that's what he's telling people. Then you get another turnaround, and another, and then it becomes a time travel plot where Eren, through Titan magic, starts the whole story by whispering into his father's ears on that he should do the thing that leads to everything that happens in the plot. It's just fucking hell.
And when he's asked about it at the end, going, why did you start this? What was the purpose? I kind of forgot.
Yay.
God.
Time travel. It works everywhere when it's crap.
Okay, prime question. Between Flash Mecha anime, is this worse or Neon Genesis Evangelion?
I would say this is worse.
Okay. Neon was this one, was it 26, was it 24, 26 episodes? Of
26,
yeah, just absolute bonkers bullshit. With this, that just sort of drags out. It's like, hey, let's do this character and then look at them for 12 episodes. You're like, why? Let's do this. Oh, here's a plot reveal. Here's a plot twist. Again. And it's just like, oh, God.
I think like the ending for Attack on Titan, like what we got from the manga, is like a close contender of like the kind of bullshit that happens. Like the main character turning into a bird. Like, okay.
Oh,
but I think Evangelion is gonna take the cake.
Yeah. I would still put my money on Evangelion, and it's just like it's like watching a slow-moving car crash. Like it's going to end poorly. It's not going to have some great reveal or everything's going to make perfect sense. No, it's just stupid crap because of its popularity. And I don't know if it was finished yet, the manga, before the anime started, but clearly
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was on running.
I think some of the disconnect happened once that popularity hit, and the guy's like, "Oh wow, I'm big now. People know my name." And you're like, "Oh no, this is not gonna..."
He was quoted as saying, I've been heavily inspired by Game of Thrones in my writing.
Oh my god.
This was back in 2000, I think it was around 16. I remember in 2013 he said that he was changing the ending due to the recent popularity.
Yeah.
Saying that he didn't want to make a sad ending.
That is
so dumb.
That is not
He
what you
still
do.
made a sad ending.
Unless you're a very good writer and you know how to write because you could write a great story and know the ending and keep going and go, wait a second, I'm writing now, I have to change my trajectory, but I'm still going to end up in point Z, and there could be a little nuance of bittersweetness, or there could be a down feeling. There could be all sorts of nuances that you could make, but you still don't change what you've got, even though it's going in a different direction. So that's the fault of many things that happen in the writing process. I don't know why popularity from an anime would influence that, but then again, this guy was influenced by George R.R. Martin. We all know what happened to him. So at least this guy finished something. That's nice to know.
Winter is never coming out.
Yeah, it's never going to happen. He's going to die.
I tell you, he has it finished. It's in his drawer next to his bed.
Oh, posthumously he's going to kick the bucket, and then in his will, the lawyer would be like, "Here is the last living work of George R.R. Martin."
Yes.
No. He said
So that he does not have to witness the backlash.
Oh, it's like here's the finished product. Oh, by the way, I set it to blow up after my death. So.
That reminds me of that like 1,000 hour-long movie that was set to delete itself after it was shown. I think it was in Germany.
What?
Like you hear about some crazy stuff where people are like, "Okay, here's my masterpiece. You can experience it once in a lifetime."
The VHS has a timer bomb in it every time you hit play. It starts ticking.
It's just a die pack. It just instantly ruins it. Just, oh, you want to try fixing it? Oh no, it makes it even worse. Have fun trying to fix it, asshole.
All right. Anyway, let's keep going. Here's Threadnought. Thank you, sir. Don't defend yourself from a mob attempting to exterminate and eat you. Someone who thinks he'll always be part of the mob. Yeah, this is a slightly different scenario when you're talking about the last bastion of humanity. And what do you do? There has to be plans. There has to be some strategy to employ to get the hell out of there, to start fighting back. And they do have that. They do have it in small teams. They're developing, technology to attack the Titans more efficiently.
Yeah, horse cards.
Right. But, it's not just let's all hole up in here. But Matt thinks that's a great idea. And I'm like, wow. Well, Matt, there's more to life than choosing the mob mentality. There must be another personality out there that sees the fire and goes, okay, I'm gonna go to the fire, especially when the fire is all around you. We could look to ancient battles from antiquity of how Alexander the Great and his father won and why, that were impossible odds. So there are methods and strategies, but Matt is like, no. Don't do anything. Don't rock the boat.
But it is the job of youth to question the status quo and want to go on the offensive and break out. That is the job. That's why youth is.
That's why we have people go to war. It's why we have firefighters. It's why we have cops. That's why the story has those core guys.
No, Smut. It's fine. The fire is fine.
Yeah.
Everything is fine.
Death around me is all famine, death, being bored, loneliness, all that. It's
Don't
great.
don't fight the fire. It'll end by itself when it's done burning everything.
Yeah, that's great.
So what? It's more grown up to settle for living in fear behind some stupid wall your whole pointless life?
Then a couple minutes later, his mother gets eaten like popcorn shrimp, putting that argument to bed pretty quickly.
It's not an argument.
Question: which option?
But
What? Okay, so they
haven't done
hungered
anything.
down.
Like they invaded and they were
They-
behind the wall.
They hungered down and they lost. What's your point, Matt?
If they fought, she would have retreated or knew how to retreat instead of standing there like a lamb and going "durr." I mean, I'm not expecting.
It's kind of like an argument against gun control. It's like, they got the guns. They can't destroy us. But what are we gonna do? Stay behind in the house. They aren't gonna approach us.
Oh, now they shot all my family. Man, guns are really bad. Good I didn't have one.
Oh no,
Good going, Matt.
Pat.
Great logic.
Is best. Are Aaron and the rest of the show's heroes fools to risk their lives outside of the walls when they could just lay back inside the walls?
Okay, doing somersaults in the air like a crazy trapeze artist, yes, that's very foolish considering the scenarios. But if you didn't have that, the show would not be watchable. You'd be like bored out of your mind. Now, if they made it more hardcore, like using real tactics, like running around on the ground like humans with artillery and traps, and they do have traps in the show for sure, or the manga for sure. But if it was more realistic, it might be, I would say, to my taste, like guerrilla tactics, various kinds of siege weaponry, all kinds of cables and explosives and whatever, like trying acid, try all kinds of techniques.
Yeah.
That would be interesting to me.
If you've been under siege by these things for 100 years,
Yeah.
and you were able to build these massive walls, you should have come up with some more ways to fight back and ensure they don't get in. And if they get in, they get crushed immediately.
The X-Acto knife / I'm gonna have repelling gear with air jets on them. Okay, that's ridiculous, but it's fun to watch. So you should have like layers of tactics. So you have the crazy acrobatic retards who want to risk their lives and get their heads knocked in. Great, have them. And then you have like the normal guys. And then the guys slightly in the middle who, I don't know, like riding around on the tops of roofs with ropes or all kinds of other gear. Like there has to be stages the same way we have stages for defense. Like we have the police, we have SWAT teams, we've got armored SWAT, we've got whatever's in between.
The most obvious thing to put out is putting obstacles in front of the walls of similar architecture that guides the movement of the Titans, preferably into death traps.
Yeah, do they have moats? Do they have like giant moats and then giant hills and then giant moats?
Nope.
No,
Really?
just walls.
Just walls.
As I said, the big event that causes a Titan to die to the Ewok trap, where he gets his head smashed, is from a hole in the wall, where they lure it in with an actual human, and then he just gets his head smashed into the side of the wall.
Okay.
How did I not notice that the walls are made of Titans?
That's a very good question. It takes a while. Like we're talking 2020 before they actually reveal that, oh yeah, these guys are made of Titans and they are sleeping they can be awoken.
We have
and because they have pathways inside the walls after all.
This is kind of like the mystery of like how the pyramids were made. It's like all of our amazing masoners are gone. They covered up this wall of Titans so perfectly that no one ever considered the thought that there'd be something inside. And all those guys never told anyone, and now they're dead. It's like, oh, okay. Thanks.
Also, it's interesting that you did mention strategies for dealing with the Titans, because apparently the Renaissance, like warriors, fought these guys with like medieval equipment and Ottoman cannons and beat the Titans so badly the Germans just up and left the continent.
Nice.
Tag wall and chill? Now, I already know American voice dubbing, it sucks.
What are you saying? After everything we saw that day, after what happened to my mom?
And I'm so triggered about that Kirito joke. SAO is like the cancer of anime, and American voice dubbing still sucks. Okay, let's all calm down there.
Come on, you're being very undude.
People listen to these videos, so I gotta make sure that the important quotes are in English and not subbed, alright? And regarding the SAO hate, whether you...
Wait. You're saying the translation must be in English because people who are English watch that?
Yeah, he's just making excuses on why he's using the dub in his video.
Just say that you like
true.
it,
Like,
you
the
spineless
Americans are
cuck.
too lazy to read the subtitles. That's unfortunately true.
This is like making
Americans
an argument.
can't read. That's the thing.
Yeah, what's that crazy Bible that that weird YouTuber loves? Like everything has to be by this. Was it John's some British version of the Bible with the old English style?
The Bible by Biff?
I don't know who that guy was. But that was the only interpretation of the Bible he will accept.
King James Bible.
Thank you, the King James Bible.
But that was the first translation?
No, it was like the last translation. Oh, why don't you use the original text there, Matt? Like the manga and the anime, and then you compare what the Japanese anime said in relation to the Japanese manga, and go, oh yeah, okay, that's what things mean, not the dub.
Also, the King James Bible came out during the Renaissance in 1611.
Yeah. Okay.
Love it or hate it, there's one thing that we can all agree on, at least it's not Skelter Heaven. Can we all just get along and appreciate that we all have different nerdy tastes?
There's
Alright.
worse than that,
Just
Matt.
thought I'd ask. Alright, tongue-in-cheek rebuttals against hardcore anime fans aside, back to Titan. Because I'm sure many of you might be thinking that nobody can relax inside the walls because the Colossal Titan or Armored Titan could just appear randomly and break the walls down as they did in the first 2 episodes. Except that's not quite true. Notice that
What?
these Titans only take down the segment of wall featuring the gateway in and out of that part of the city. As we learn in episode 24, the walls themselves are hardened, too strong for the Titans to tear apart for reasons I'll leave a mystery due to spoilers. Suffice it to say, only the entrance is weak.
Yeah, so you already know why. He already knows why, because the manga's been out for a long time now.
How can you make this film theory bullshit when you know? I don't get it.
Okay, I'm going to read the entire Odyssey, and then I'm going to make a theorycraft video on how the movie Odyssey is going to turn out.
On how Odysseus is gonna escape the Cyclops.
You're not gonna believe option 2.
enough. But if closed up shop and completely walled these segments up as well, the Colossal
It's a
Titan could
wall.
puff and puff all he wanted, but he wouldn't be able to.
It's a wall. You want to wall it again? What's the reason?
I mean, you could ask the question, why do you need a gate?
But if you wall up, then that means that like at one point, like you can not exceed a certain amount of people because you're not gonna have enough land for them.
Is there ever a point in this show where they just, get smart and jump over the wall?
Kinda.
This is
The
like
wall's not gonna last.
the wall is big. It should be bigger. You're like, what? How big does
Well,
it?
what I
Can't-
think he's
can't
trying
be
to say is that the
beyond that.
gate is a weak point, and so you should just like gate that up. My counterpoint is you need to exit somewhere. They're already starving in the anime. It gets to the point where they have to
Yes.
run into the underground, where people starve even faster.
I mean, there is they do figure out that the Titans are drawn to by human settlements, which means that if you want your gate, your city to be safe, you don't give it a gate, but you put the gate somewhere at the wall where no one lives, and just have it guarded by.
But the one that kicks it open isn't a brainless mook, it's the giant armored titan.
That is true, and the question is, why? Why did nobody know of this? And that's the stupid part.
Oh, if the elites know about it, they just don't want you to know because it's all a Jewish conspiracy.
All right. Let's see where he's going.
Tear down that wall. Mr. Gorbachev, he is not. But of course, that would also mean that humanity would be cut off from the outside world. So the question is, would that be such a bad thing?
Okay, wait. But we find out there's a big hole in the wall. So, like, this is the second episode? Or third
Second episode is when they actually charge in. Like, that's when they abandon the wall completely.
Yeah, so what is Matt, like, what is he getting at? The wall theory failed. Making a bigger wall wouldn't have helped. So, now he wants to tear it down. Like, I don't... Did I miss
Now
something?
we gotta seal up the weaknesses. There you go. Isolate ourselves. Let us starve inside our safe bubble.
The land inside is big enough.
All right.
It's ridiculously big. It's Europe, basically.
Here is Heart Attack on Titan. Choosing a crappy dub of a show is really silly, I agree. Learn to read subs, you spineless cuck. Or just watch anime with good English VA. Black Lagoon, Death Note, Bebop, etc. Just now noticing most of the good dubs are of seinen anime. What's up with that? Probably because there's more content that is adult, unless you have to pay actors a certain amount. So they act adult. They don't act like, for example, the Sailor Moon actress does multiple voices in the show. So she gets paid a lot more, and she stretches her voice all over the place, so it's not just one character she plays. Whereas in these stories, they pretty much are, unless you're talking about the big guys who get paid their normal fee, and they get multiple characters to play anyway. So
the dubs people usually shit on is Funimation. I wanted to. Nope.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the quality of the translation and lip syncing, whether it works, which it usually doesn't. And if you like it, that's fine. But if you want to know exactly what's going on, you have to get a good sub. Even the subgroups aren't perfect. So I've seen amazing subgroups that they actually show the stuff on screen. Like, say someone typed out something on the computer and there's a scene of that. They have the translation at the bottom, and as the person's deleting the Japanese kanji on the screen, it's also deleting the word on the sub. It was brilliant. I was like, wow, this person really knows their Japanese. So it depends who you get.
Could human closed within the walls actually survive? Well, to properly answer that, we need to know just how large the remaining population within the walls is and how much land we have to work with. So at the opening of the series, Titans penetrate the wall Maria, killing 10,000 people. Those that survive the attack flee into the wall Rosa, seeking shelter. However, as we hear in episode 2, 250,000 of those survivors were sent right back out into the Titan-infested area. The narrator reveals that 250,000 people count as
20% of the surviving population.
Which means that there are 1,250,000 people living between all three walls at the start of the series. Of the 250,000 people that got sent back out, only about 100 survived. So at the start of the series, the human population is about 990,100 people. Now, to live with three gigantic walls cut off from the rest of the world, we'll need enough space for that population to live. Lucky for us, there are a number of good looks at housing throughout Attack on Titan. Within the city areas, sure, the houses are built right next to each other with narrow roads and alleys in between, but they're pretty darn spacious. They're a far cry from your average LA hipster house or New York studio apartment, so it doesn't seem like...
Where are they gonna do the agriculture when they lost that segment of the wall? Like, how are they gonna get enough food?
Yeah, you have to understand how farming works.
That's a bigger problem, yeah.
Like when you have a farm, let's say you want to live by yourself, right? So you own a hut in the wilderness or whatever. You have arable or soluble land that could grow whatever food you'll survive on completely. How much vegetables and nutrition will you need? Diverse vegetables, of course. It's probably a factor of 15 to 16 times of land that you'll need for just to get you enough, like 1,500 calories roughly.
Yeah, and we see that like these people have to go outside the walls to do the agriculture because like they are still poor, yet they have to do that activity to get by in life. So, Matt, I think is if you're listening to another city dweller,
Yeah, you would have
doesn't know where the food comes from.
You would have to develop new methods of like hydroponics or some sort of greenhouse of like dome to like keep the food going even when winter hits. There's all things you have to do. Was it the Haber process to create proper fertilization? So there's lots of an industry you have to do to work with very limited space. So like these houses might need roofs on top of them just for growing hydroponic stuff. There's so many applications in engineering to consider, but we're working with, I guess, post-medieval, looks like Renaissance style.
Yeah, Renaissance.
Iron making. Yeah, there's got to be some iron in there. So,
also, Toby makes an excellent point in the comments. As he points out, what all of us miss to mention is that since these walls are made of Titan, yeah, there wouldn't be a good reason to wall up that like the gate, because that'd just be bricks that we could actually produce, unless they figured out how to seal Titans again.
Yeah, they're going to.
There's no way to actually seal that up with the technology and the information they have on hand, unless the nobles were to break character.
Yeah,
as has been established.
They're essentially trying to make bricks out of sand, or they're taking the dirt in the ground, taking out all the liquid somehow, crystallizing it, turning it to sand, then adding whatever chemicals to make hardened stone for brick, whatever they got. They're just making mud bricks at this point. And thus making a wall, letting the mud bake, hardening it up, and then saying, okay, we need mortar now. Okay, we have to get some sort of limestone. We need some water, like a lot to mix, have it evaporate. And then you have this nice slurry of cement, and then you use that as your glue. And it's like, where do you get all these resources? Who's going to make walls that thick and that tall? Where's the scaffolding? Where's all this infrastructure? Industry.
The entire problem is already that this civilization does not look like it could build these walls in the first place.
Yeah, if this is the last of humanity, this entire city has to have a manufacturing, industrial, commercial, agricultural, technological, all these sectors would have to exist. And we don't.
And you can't tell me that in 100 years they forgot how to do that.
Yeah, something does not add up.
But when that is organized.
Like the premise of the story is like, okay, you have the last bastion of humanity in this city, blah, blah, blah. It's huge, got 1 million people. Fair enough. That's a lot of people to work with. Where are where's the Iron Guild? Where is the House Building Guild? Where is all these sectors of specialists that are like at the ends of their rope saying, we are the water purification team. No one is going to get in our way from our job.
I don't think the author looked into medieval European society that much in the first place.
He
only looked at the aesthetics, and that was it.
They would need a distillation apparatus. They would need like a brewing for alcohol, because you have to purify your water without the proper methods we're using today. You would need a lot of arable land to do that. Or you use science. You use all kinds of chemistry.
For the sophistication, they would have need of a guild system.
Yes. I mean, specialists in a guild sort of idea. You're right. Yeah, that would be essential, because you wouldn't just have Guy, who is father of the family, can do anything. I could make a door. I can fix the roof. I can clean the pipes.
Or you have mason guy over there and carpenter guy over there. No, these people would be organized heavily.
Yeah.
Especially with this threat at hand.
And you'd be constantly working. There's no time for games. Kids would be working.
You still have like your local carpenter, your local blacksmith, whatever, but they would all have a master house they refer to, such as you mentioned, a guild. Yeah, they assemble almost every other day.
Yeah, the guild system is more intricate than people think at first glance. Mm-hmm. You have an organized education system of novices journeymen and masters, or apprentices as novices, and with cross-pollination of knowledge through the journeyman phase, especially where they travel around to see what are the other masters doing, and then get that back to the home guild. And these guilds also demand that you do your share, that you contribute your share to keep the city functioning, especially the wall. This is not, and that is not talking about Attack on Titan, that is talking about a medieval city, because medieval cities are basically giant castle towns. You can look up images of Rothenburg ob der Tauber in Germany. It's one of the really famous things. It's every day it's spilling with Japanese tourists. It's basically what this kind of Attack on Titan city would look like, just with higher walls than it has. But everyone, especially the people who live next to the wall, their job is it to keep that part of their wall in pristine condition, to repair it. To their taxes go to funding that, and especially the guilds, they provide for that, because that is in that sort of society, the taxes are not simply theft. They are as is memed today. In that sort of society, it is a part taken, or rather something you contribute, so that the city can keep functioning, and that is your fee for living there, because you contribute to the city, so you're allowed to live inside the walls. If you don't contribute to the city, well, you can live outside the walls, outside the walls' protection. Good luck with that in Attack on Titan.
Yeah, there would also be a massive underground world of people, or like mining everything, just digging for the sake of digging to escape, and the water sources and whatever heavy metals they'll need to manufacture other things. So there's a lot of stuff that I would have appreciated, because I like stories like this, like survival stories, and how would you do that, and what would a society look like on Mars, and all these other wonderful stories in science fiction. And this one, if it had that level of sophistication, even though that might be boring to some people, it takes maybe 2 pages or 3 pages in a manga to just say, here's our manufacturing process, where it goes through a list of materials that they process for tools and goods and services, and do that for 2 or 3 pages of world building. And I'll be like, okay, you fleshed out the basics. You could go into detail later on, but just give me the bare, like, how is this even possible? How does this setting exist? That is my problem with any of these premises for stories.
Yeah, with how nerdy Japanese writing can be,
oh yeah,
it's surprising that this is lacking here completely.
And it's for mass appeal, because it's not about that. It's about giant creatures trying to eat people. So anyway, let's get back to the video.
Like they're hurting for a lot of space. To make sure, I wasn't able to take exact measurements, but I did the next best thing: comparison shopping. You see, the cities within Attack on Titan closely resemble the real-world city of Nordlingen, Germany, a town constructed entirely inside a meteor crater. It's cool, right? Houses are built right next to each other with narrow roads and alleyways. And seriously, just compare the anime houses to those IRL. It's uncanny how similar they are.
Almost like they're all Germans.
So I looked into local available house listings in that area and found that the median house there is about 1,500 square feet. So
imagine opening up, like, you've been looking for a house for like 2 years in that area. You open up and some smut cunt called MadPad has bought the last house available.
He's dressed up in that getup.
It's uncanny that an artist borrowed real life examples of a realistic looking house. Like, wow, yeah, Matt, it's uncanny. Never seen that before.
Ocarina of Time.
Arranged in families of 4. Some people are sharing that ever-present couch-surfing, rent-bumming, freeloader friend that everyone has. Even when you're in the middle of the apocalypse, the population of 990,100 people would need somewhere around 247,525 homes to sustain them all. Now, if each house covers a baseline 1,500 square feet, that means we need an area of 371,280.
Okay, I have to question the music choice here when you're talking about logistics.
I get what he's trying to do, but this is kind of irrelevant, because we have pictures We've seen what the place looks like. We have overhead shots of the city multiple times.
And like they had to turn out 250,000 people to the outer walls because they just couldn't get housing.
Yeah.
So why even bother with these metrics?
Also, assuming that in a medieval society, families would only have 2 children is retarded.
Yeah, if the house was, or if the space to do stuff was larger than what we saw, then yeah, this would be great to say, okay, this is arable land, this is living quarters, blah, blah, blah. Great, thank you. But we saw it. We can just count the houses in the picture. We don't need to go
What
through
if Attack on Titan was a smartly written story? Oh, wait, it's not.
Us back to smart. Wiz brings up a great point. It's like especially here where he is encouraging the idea of, oh yeah, just lock yourself inside of a closet and just pretend the outside world doesn't exist. What else would you do but make more children?
I'm trying
only 2 children is a declining population.
I'm trying to think of like the Diary of Anne Frank, like how many people were in that house. I can't remember, but it was like a son, a daughter, at least 4 others, and I think it was a 2-story building or a 2-story house. So, families are going to be different sizes. People are going to be helping out their neighbors. They're going to be jam packed in this place essentially. So, and running with limited resources, no shampoo, no soaps, everything's that's a fad is going to be consumed. Running water is a luxury, like all these things. So, this is getting pointless. But let's see where he goes with trying to figure out real estate.
87,500 square feet at an absolute minimum. To factor in things like roads, streets, alleys, markets, and businesses, I'm going to quadruple that number to give us a realistic amount of space for the city population, giving...
What are you talking about? The thing is, this is not how the population is distributed. You have in these in-betweens, like the way you would put the commercials, with these fact reveals of how big the walls actually are, how big the space actually is. They have some cities in these wall pockets, like these outcroppings that are supposed to draw the Titans to those outcropping cities. The agriculture happens inside the actual rings where you have agricultural villages. That's a lot of spread. You have forests and all of that other shit. There's more than enough space. This is as if you would build a wall around France, Germany, Poland, and make that a big circle.
Well, give the example of the German city he just showed. It's like, imagine that. Okay, you got that. Just use that as a base. Multiply it by the 2 other rings, 2 other walls. See how that would work. And you could just use that as an example.
But you don't have this one city. The outer wall has several cities that have these pimples on the wall, and so has the next, and then you have the center thing. So this is you can't do this just so plain geometrically.
Yeah.
Just the total of 1,485,150,000 square feet, about 34,000 acres or 138 kilometers squared. How big is that? Well, that's the size of 20,000 soccer fields. For comparison, Los Angeles is 10 times that size, at 1,300 square kilometers. So about 1 million people don't need as much land as you might think. But then again, they're being tightly squeezed into this area between the walls, right? Wrong. We're shown through diagrams as early as the first episode the actual measurements of the walled city, and when you do the math, it's actually huge. From Wall Maria to Wall Rosa, there's a distance of 100 kilometers. Between Wall Rosa and Wall Sina, there's a distance of 130 kilometers, and from Wall Sina to the center of it all, a distance of 250 kilometers. Now, I'm gonna...
This is not even...
This diagram doesn't work.
Yeah, this is completely off.
This is garbage.
Why did he draw this?
I'm screaming right now. Like my mathematician degree is
the shortest line is the longest.
The radius is 250, and then
how
the chord is what? Like what?
How the fuck? Who the fuck made this up?
When you get closer to something, you're further away.
This must be like some non-Euclidean geometry.
Is he counting
Maybe
up?
that's how the Titans are made.
Yeah, is he counting like in 3D?
Well,
Is he
at the
going
end, Eren
one-
does turn into a bone maggot, so it's Eldritch nonsense.
Yeah,
yes.
is this 250 kilometers cubed, or is it just 250 kilometers?
No. That's the radius. So you have a diameter. The center circle has a diameter of 500 kilometers.
Okay, his original measurement.
So
was...
that itself is almost Germany.
Okay.
That's how big this is. this is like just the center thing.
That makes
can
no
house
sense.
all the people. Just the center thing can house all the people and do all the agriculture and surplus.
I'm sorry, but if you watch the anime or read the manga, it is not that big. There is no way.
It doesn't look that big. It doesn't look that big.
Again,
These are stupid numbers.
If it was this big, if the center circle was this big, why would the nobles be trying so hard to keep a hold of their power in the inner circle to the point where they force people underground to starve?
If you have a 500 kilometer diameter, I mean that's massive amount of area to work with, and progressively less as you go.
I'm telling you, and that's just 1 million people living there in the entire thing.
That is, you got a lot of space to work with.
If anything,
so basically, there's no one lives there. Basically, you see one person every like what is that? I need how many square kilometers are that overall, and what's the population density? The actual population density.
Well, the pictures in the anime and the manga are just wrong. Then there's no way houses are the size of like 5 to 10 kilometers each, if that's the scale.
Hey, unless this wall sin I don't know what it's called. Is like a mountain, like it's going upwards. I can't believe that it's 250. But that's crazy.
Now I get it. It's not wall Sina, it's wall sinus A.
Yeah,
it's cosine.
Sinus A.
It's integrating.
Yes. No, it's not makes sense. But
every time you enter this wall, it's gonna get bigger.
Yeah, but smart. Just for to explain this better. Imagine this is the outer wall, and the little bumps on the circle that you see. That's the actual cities. These pimple cities on the outside. That's that. And the rest is empty space.
I'm just saying, with the pictures that we saw in the manga and the anime, those houses are the size of skyscrapers, just massive houses, and people are ants. They're tiny.
You'd have to just have housing like along the road. Otherwise, you would never see another human being in your fucking life. It'd just be you, your wife, and your 12 kids in like a 5 to 10 kilometer radius.
That's what I'm telling you. This whole thing is the size of Central Europe. That's just inside the wall. That's not the island that it's on, because the outer wall, the outermost wall, is tiny speck on this giant island. So basically, you could say that the island it's on might be the size of North America, Africa. So this whole planet is probably the size of Jupiter, because that island in that world is tiny. This whole thing doesn't make sense. This guy fails at being Japanese.
Just to put that,
because none of his numbers make sense. This is how a child writes. Oh look, here's the big numbers. I'm writing big numbers.
Just to think in terms
of not understanding the numbers.
Like I live in Ontario. That's about 1.5 thousand kilometers. Okay.
These are Warhammer numbers. I'm getting scared now.
In comparison, Toronto, if you guys know the size of Toronto, it's about 600 kilometers squared.
Toronto is 600 kilometers long?
600 kilometers squared, yeah.
Squared?
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, what's the diameter?
Don't know. I think that is the in terms of width, but that would be diameter. It's not a circle, but you know. Anyway. Let us continue, because my brain doesn't work anymore.
Eliminate piece of land between Wall Maria and Wall
That
Rosa.
looks so stupid.
Given that the walls are constructed in a circular manner, we can use the formula for the area of a circle to figure out what sort of space we're working with within the other two walls.
243 diameter.
Miss Allen, my 9th grade math teacher, proud. This one's for you. Considering the area of a circle is pi r squared and the radius of Wall Sina is 250 kilometers, the area within Wall Sina alone is 196,000 kilometers squared. That's a land area larger than, no joke, over half the countries in the world. Full countries! Adding in Wall Rosa's extra 130 kilometer radius, you get a grand...
All right, this is dumb.
Maybe it's not.
This is so dumb.
Yes, when this in between interjection reveal of data popped up on the screen when I watched the show, I paused and sat there with my brain flowing out of my ears because of how dumb this is.
It would take several days for any of these Titans to get where they have to go.
Imagine trying to outrun them.
It takes this society weeks to even relay a message. Like, you're in the center, you're in the central government. Before you know what's happening on the outside, that's like Rome getting a message from Great Britain.
Did they lose the technology of radio signals? That they forgot how that worked, or
also if I might not remember it correctly, but I'm pretty sure they don't have roads between the walls, do they?
Well, there's got to be something to.
I don't remember the Survey Corps ever using roads to get from between Rosa and the outer wall.
Yeah, no,
that's because they're faster with their Spider-Man stuff through the forest.
I don't know if this is an official diagram or Matt made this.
It is.
It's official?
No, it is.
Okay.
It's the numbers you get in the anime.
All right. Well, this is bonkers, and to try and figure this out is just stupid. So we're just going to skip this.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Nobody lives in these circles. There's no one there.
Population of 990,000.
Okay, you're still talking about it.
Shown how much area this wasteland takes
Still.
up, but if you 90%.
Still.
This is
really
his theory.
Listen to this guy.
All of it amounts to nothing!
Or Aaron's mom.
The whole idea is just irresponsible.
They have at least 200 years before they even need to consider the possibility of leaving the walls. The smartest play is to simply seal yourself in and relax.
You can't do that though.
The Titans know where the humans are. They smell them.
But Whisp,
They will find you.
The only way to escape them is to build another wall again, I guess.
The only way to escape is to kill them, to fight back.
No, but we gotta chill out and starve to death.
All you need to do is like cannons are even a dumb idea. Just build giant ballistas. Oh, by the way, they have cannon. They invented cannons, so they do have black powder.
Yes, and they were extremely effective against the Titans, so much so that Germany got pissed at the rest of Europe, kicking their asses despite them having their Ubermensch. So they fucked off to Africa.
Technically.
Chill. Proof that sometimes being lazy is mathematically the correct choice. But hey, that's just a...
Oh my god, he's done?
That's it. Yeah. He thinks that because there's so much that there's so much space, just chill and let the Titans invade you and hunt you.
So the rest of this video is just him rambling on about Crunchyroll. Wow. What a great advertisement. It's a Crunchyroll advertisement for 4 minutes.
This was pathetic. This does not even take into account how the fucking world works if you know so much. Especially since he knows more than is revealed in the first season.
How did he get that retarded calculation? And I'm like, my brain is just like, I don't think this was thought out through very well.
He simply ignores that the Titans know instinctively where the humans are to eat them. If you're hiding, the Titan will find you.
To ignore something, you would need to know something. I don't think MatPat knows anything.
I think he deliberately refuses to know things.
No. He's retarded. Like he's legitimately retarded.
Well, 18 million views later, he's doing well, so good for him, I guess.
Oh, God.
All right, let's see what we got. Stream memes. Oh, what is this, Cyberfrog? Attack on Mexicans? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. That's not racist at all. Mad Pat look hella different from how I remember that crazy. Oh, my God.
If you relabel that as attack on MS-13, then it perfectly works.
Whenever my future kids get into anime, I'm telling that this was Attack on Titan. P.S. This is Kaiju number 8. Oh.
Nice.
Alrighty.
That looks good.
Cool design. Testing the COVID-19 vaccine on my son.
Oh, jeez.
Har. Oh, eat my shorts, man. Why you? That is not a funny Simpsons reference. Well, sweet mother of Teresa on the hood of a Mercedes-Benz. You sound like a majestic effing eagle. What? Is that how you?
I think it.
Is that the dub?
No, it's a fucking shit post.
It is the dub. Don't worry.
Hassan, cookies were left out, and the humans are all out of raid. That was a video.
I guess.
I don't know much about Hassan, but you mentioned Trump. You become a hero. I did it. I become the enemy. I don't think that's fair. He made a story about Attack on Titan and a Trump reference. I mean, that is the best time to use it. Maybe if you talk about Germany, that might be a good time as well. Maybe talk about China, that might be a good time as well. Like this, there's certain historical examples you could talk about walls and bring up Trump. But Maggie just brings up Trump whenever she can. Oh, sorry. Been rewatching the 60s Planet of the Apes film. It was wild. Oh, the original? Yeah. I could barely read that, so.
I'd like to kiss you, Miss Monkey Miss. Oh, all right. But you're so damn ugly.
Oh, Jesus. Mappa, AOT final season. Mappa, AOT final season. Oh, what the hell happened to him?
Final season?
It's part 3.
How do you...
2023.
Wait,
it's the third season of the final season.
Don't even call it the third season. That's fucking retarded.
Oh, no. It's not the third. It's not the third season. It's the third season of the final season.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. I'm not making this up.
Call it an accident. Don't call it fucking. Just call it final season, part 3.
What is this? Why is this? Is it really possible for a Blackwater girl and a Wagner boy to be in a relationship? Oh, jeez. I'm gonna go with yeah, it's possible.
I do have Aurora Lavaine playing in my head.
This is way too small. I can't read that.
You bastard! Where the hell did my socks go? Sorry, that was a strange thing to ask.
Okay. I grew my hair out to look like Aaron. Did I pull it off? Oh my.
For a moment, I thought it's Movie Bob.
Oh,
I think you have to like shave if you're and get some hormone replacement. I don't know what you do to get your hair back.
Oh God.
Hair attachment.
I think what you mean is a wig.
That would do it. Yeah.
Or hair transplants.
Hair plugs.
There you go. Is that the official one? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yes.
That's from the anime.
Oh yes, they do have a road. Nice.
I don't.
They also have circling roads to connect the agricultural villages.
I like the idea that there's some topographical something, but this is just wrong.
This is a what's it called? A
garbage.
It's a metaphorical diagram. It's
Yeah.
not to size.
Unless it's
not
like
to scale.
Minas Tirith and these are ramps and they keep getting higher and higher. It's a freaking tower. We're gonna kill you. Okay. Fair enough.
Make landmines. That would unironically be effective.
Landmines. Yeah, we'll just make some claymores, no problem.
Nobody lives in this thing. There's nobody. You leave a city and there's nobody for hundreds of miles.
It's like the desert, but all green and shit. And when
Yeah.
you see a house, you're like, civilization.
Yeah. The next thing you need is a picture of the island and how big this thing is on that island, and then you need a world map to see how big the island is.
All right. Well, that was insane and stupid. So thank you for Anime Monday suggestions. That was MatPat. We're always disappointed with MatPat, but he never disappoints in the crazy category, so that's okay. I can appreciate
He's
that.
always disappointing, but he's never really disappointing. We always expect to be disappointed.
Yeah.
And in that, we're never disappointed.
There we go.
Yeah, like MatPat certainly like holds some kind of like distaste, but like he's pretty normal compared to like the other guys that we're covering.
Yeah.
Usually.
He hides behind bad mathematics and I don't know what else to call it. Just craziness? Bonkers?
At least he keeps the worst of politics out.
That's fine. Yeah, that's a good.
But
point.
hey, it's just a game theory.
Whew. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. It's still a pretty humid day here in TO. I actually turned my dehumidifier off and my temperature increased 2 degrees Celsius. So interesting stuff. Air quality is still pretty, 5 or 6. It's around there. Got to take lots of breaks, take lots of water, and get the exercise going in cool areas of the house. Outside is no.
Well, you pretty much still have like 250-kilometer radius around you.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fine.
Lots of air to smoke to travel by. More and more smoke tomorrow. All right. Anyway, thank you for the suggestions. We'll find out what we're doing tomorrow, if anything. If not, we'll take a break. Have a great Tuesday, if not. So keep cool, drink lots of water, get lots of sleep, that sort of thing. And we'll talk to you real soon. Good night.
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 Nice.